So at this point, we have entered in all that we need to enter to take a look at our survey. The survey should be built by now. So let's go to the section Preview Your Survey and see what we have. If you click here, you go to Preview Your Survey page. I'm going to make this just a little bit bigger so we can see it as we go along. Notice that we have the paragraph here that you can read for the details of what this is all about. But notice that we only have 3 SOIs in our study, so there's really only one group, Group 1, to preview. It's a survey that involves the NUGO bar, the KIND bar, and the CLIF bar, and then we have a validation preview, which I may take up in a separate video. But all we need to do here is click on this red box, and the survey that has been built will come up. And what I'm going to do when I click on that, I will talk you through a survey just like a respondent would see it. So here we go. Click on that. And the survey always starts out, I'm going to talk quickly through this. We won't take you through the entire survey. But we start out with a little bit of a screening portion. We screen people. We tell them what the study's all about, evaluating nutrition bars and guessing what they think a number of foreign language characters mean. And it takes about 20 minutes. Respondents will click that, and we tell them that we want to make sure they qualify and direct them to the correct version of the survey. So we have a few screening questions. Our clients can add their own screening questions. We can add them for them, but the one that we always have regarding the Chinese pictographs is this one. We want to make sure that they're not familiar with Chinese languages or alphabets. So they have to not choose Chinese here. I'm just going to click none of these and move on. And once they pass the screening questions, they will qualify. So we tell them that. And we tell them again the survey takes about 20 minutes, and it's important that they're not interrupted. When you're sure you have about 20 minutes, click to begin, and we'll get it great. Let's get started. So the first question is an awareness question of our SOIs. We wanted to know if people are aware of what we're evaluating or not. I'm aware of all 3 of these bars, so I'm going to say yes. But it's not conditioned upon awareness. In other words, respondents, whether they're aware of these or not, will be taken through the survey. Now, here are our outcomes questions. Remember, we built those outcomes questions. The first one has people rank order whatever it is we're evaluating, nutrition bars in this case, in terms of what they would choose first, second, and third. So I'm just going to randomly put them in order here. That's how I would order it. Then the next outcome question comes up. If they had $25 to spend, how much would they assign, or how much would they spend on each of these? I'm going to say 25 here, and I'm going to say 0 here because I really like that nutrition or that NUGO bar. And so again, these have to add up to $25. I'm going to tab over there. It does add up to 25. So we'll move on to the third outcomes question. And again, we're having them rank order the bars in terms of how they think people in general would select them. So I'll choose a little different order here. In fact, that might be even the reverse order. I'm not exactly sure. So those are the outcomes questions. After the outcomes questions, we move to the explicit response tasks. And so we show the respondents what they're going to be or how they're going to be answering. Now we'd like you to evaluate these nutrition bars for a variety of attributes. To do this, you'll see nutrition bars above certain questions and attributes like this. Remember, these are the explicit response tasks that you set up earlier in setting up your study. We show them what the response tasks will look like, and we also further say for each of the nutrition bars you see, choose the word below it that most applies to the questions you're being asked. You'll notice that we're going to ask them 3 questions. Remember, these are the 3 levels, or they were labeled 2 levels actually, that we showed you earlier when we set up this explicit response task. So first is appealing, unappealing, then there will be some feature attributes, then there will be some emotion attributes. We tell them a couple more things. The words may not fit exactly how they feel. Just choose the one that best answers the questions, and you'll be evaluating, what you'll be evaluating will repeat. Nothing's wrong. We do this for measurement reliability and in case you have mixed feelings. We say we do it 3 times. We have people evaluate each of the SOIs 3 times, for these purposes, for reliability, mixed feelings, and also if they're not really aware of the SOIs, it gives them a chance to form an impression, which we'll measure later in the implicit response tests. So here are the explicit response tests. Again, we show them directly what the SOI is, and we have them answer these 3 questions. And I'm just selecting randomly here as I go along here. There's the kind bar, unappealing here. And notice the valence of the attributes that follow this first level response, either positive or negative, appealing or unappealing, will be consistent. So if I choose appealing, I'll see the positive feature attributes at level 2 and the positive emotion attributes at level 3 or level 2 for the emotions. So these are the explicit response trials. And I'm going to go quickly through these. Get through the 9. There will be 9. Again, each SOI is asked the 3 levels of questions 3 times. This will give us some reliability and in case people have mixed feelings about the SOIs. Okay, so we've gotten through the explicit response tasks. Now we're going to take you through the implicit response tasks. In the next part of our survey, we'd like you to guess the meaning of these Chinese characters like you see here. For these tasks, however, we're going to be having you guess the meaning of the Chinese characters while being slightly distracted. We're going to distract you to see how well you can focus on and respond to just the Chinese characters. Now, as you know, we are setting up the implicit response task here, but we don't, we want to have a cover story. So the cover story is about having you answer while being distracted. And we tell them how we're going to distract them. We're going to show you Chinese characters, sometimes with images of the nutrition bars you've already seen fading in and out behind them. The nutrition bar images could influence you, but don't let them. Again, we want to see how well you can focus on and respond to just the Chinese characters. So ignore the nutrition bar images, focus on and respond only to the Chinese characters, select the words that best fit what you think the Chinese characters mean, don't think too hard, just go with your gut. And here's what your task will look like. So we're going to have them do 3 practice trials first. Here is a non-primed implicit response task. We just show them the Chinese character, have them go through the 3 levels of responses. Now here's a primed response task. Notice that the SOI is the prime and it's alternating with the Chinese character, but again the task is to ignore that prime and answer only regarding the Chinese character. I'll say unappealing here and low quality, and the third one, and ashamed, and the third one then would be primed with a kind bar. Again, the 3 levels, I'll go through that. Those were the sample response trials, if you will. So now we're really setting them up for the real implicit response trials. Now you see how we'll be distracting you. It's unusual, can be a little uncomfortable, but it's interesting and fun and scientifically proven to accurately measure people's responses while being distracted. We remind them again what we want them to do in the response task, and when they're ready to continue, they click here. So now they're going through their implicit response task, which you've seen before. So I'm going to stop it here. We could continue on, but respondents will see 60 response trials, implicit response trials, in blocks of 20. When they're finished with these, and I'll stop now, they will then get the classification questions that you built in. I won't spend the time to do that right now. With that, there's a demo of the preview your survey part of our platform, and so we'll move on to the next step in the next video.